So I'm going to be refuting Jacob's claim that rising gas prices affect California more than the other states. His 3 points were that California's gas prices are getting worse, California has the highest average gas price in the United States, and California has more licensed drivers than any other state. So referring to his first point that California's gas prices are getting worse, there's a lot of evidence given as to why gas prices increase in general. He mentions weather conditions, etc. But this is all strictly informative, and it doesn't actually do anything to support the claim that that prices are going to an upward trend. Also, gas prices can and do get worse for the other 49 states, not just for California. So therefore, the argument that prices are getting worse in California doesn't support the claim that prices rising affects California over anyone else. Also, California, he's mentioned that the average gas price was $4.57 per gallon. Right now it's $4.06 per gallon, and which is a 3-cent drop from yesterday. That's according to CaliforniaGasPrices.com. So California's gas prices are getting worse. Quite the contrary, getting better. He also offered a peculiar explanation of the gas market. He said that gas prices rise because the supply is always staying the same as demand is always rising. That's just not true. According to John Eichberger of the National Association of Convenience Stores, gas stations, traders set gas prices based on changes in supply and demand that they anticipate. So yes, supply and demand do change. And they change because of things like weather and the stability of the regions that we get the oil from. Also, if the assertion that supply stays the same as demand rises were true, then we would have constantly rising gas prices, and gas prices would never come down ever, and we just all know that's not the case. Referring to his second point, that California has the highest average gas price in the United States. While we did have the highest average gas price at the time of the speech, we are currently in third. We are in third in highest gas price, which is a full 25 cents behind first place Hawaii, and that's also according to CaliforniaGasPrices.com. So because our ranking is always changing, because it's not always set at number one, the fact that we were number one at a given point in time, the time when he gave his speech, does not support the main claim that rising gas prices generally affect California more than the other states. Also, he forgot to account for certain factors like cost of living and income per capita when trying to determine whether or not rising gas prices affect California more than the other states. For example, California has the third highest average gas price right now. It has, according to the Missouri Department of Economic Development, the 8th highest cost of living. And according to the Bureau of Business and Economy Research, it has the 17th highest income per capita. Now compare that with Arizona. Arizona has the 18th highest gas price out of 50, the 17th highest cost of living, but it's 41st in income per capita. So that tells us that Arizona people, on average, compared to people from California, are seeing a bigger dent in their pocket, and a bigger relative dent in their pocket when they go to the gas station. Now, going on to the third claim that California has more licensed drivers than any other state, that's absolutely true. It's not debatable. He went on to explain that that doesn't even account for the number of people driving without their license. He actually never gave any evidence that showed that California has more drivers that aren't licensed than any other state. And he never explained why the fact that California has more licensed drivers supports the claim that rising gas prices affect California more than the other states. So to wrap it up, due to the facts, for example, that it's harder for other states like Arizona to pay for gas than it is for us on average, due to factors like cost of living and income per capita, and also due to the fact that California's gas price ranking is always changing and it's not always at number one. Rising gas prices don't affect California more than the other states.
Right, the structural issues are fine. On the first point, where you are kind of diminishing the advocate's point by pointing out that the change in the cost, I thought that that was a reasonable thing to do and show that the prices dropped. It doesn't continuously go up. This argument about supply and demand affecting the costs and how traders basically depend on that in order to set the prices. I think you could use a little bit more information on that. It shouldn't be hard to find some of that information. You say that we should all know these kinds of things, but you could point out, for instance, that the price of gas seems to go up for 2 or 3 months every year, and then it drops back down again pretty regularly, and that it's done so consistently for a number of years, and that would, I think, illustrate that particular point. The second point that you have, I thought, was actually the strongest argument that you had, because it challenges the reasoning premise of the advocate, and you've got a very nice explanation when you consider the importance of cost of living and income relative to the cost of the gasoline, and I thought you had an excellent explanation about why that diminishes the importance of it on California. And then on the last point, you're mostly dismissing that as being, a lot of nice information, but not necessarily advancing the claim. I thought that was okay too. All right. Thank